Hey everybody, my name is Lucky. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Morgue in the Pride Isle Sanatorium. Originally this space was taken up by a few cubicles. Recently it's been updated to include the cubicles, but not only that, if you travel a bit further back through a door you'll find a morgue. Before we get into the details of the morgue, there's a few more rooms still hidden further back that have still yet to be discovered, but immediately once entering you can find the incinerator. Not many people even know this place exists anymore because it really wasn't announced, so it doesn't really necessarily hold a game mechanic purpose. There's no tours, there's no reason for a nurse to take you back there. Honestly, for me, the few times I've ever actually gained access back there was because the nurse just thought it'd be cool to take me back there to show me what's actually there. But before we get started, I want to talk about Valindra. Valindra, in case you didn't know, is the owner of TS. But when Valindra isn't being Valindra, Valindra uses an alter ego account who is actually a nurse in the sanatorium, Nurse Magda. You may have seen her as an NPC or being referenced in notes you find throughout the sanatorium as well. Now that you know who Nurse Magda is, let's go ahead and get into the lore bits that we've discovered. Majority of all the notes are here are just mainly more of instructions for nurses who are using quote-unquote the morgue. We have notes to say harvest organs to donate to science, or an even darker note like sadly the incinerator is out of service for the moment. In that case, throw all leftover residue into the lake, XL Magda. So for all the people who jumped in there to try to clean off, you're nasty. Also want to clarify, I keep calling it a morgue, but it's actually what they're referring it as is a mortuary, which is basically the same thing. There's actually two notes that I want to point out specifically. During the expedition, make sure to remind Claudia to retrieve the lost artifacts from the Northern Church. Now we already know this has already happened. I like that the notes around the sanatorium can help predict what's coming, which if you're a dev and you're watching this, keep doing that. That's so exciting. We've had that happen with the basement. The reason why I'm saying this has already happened is the artifacts in the sanatorium have already been shown or released. If you haven't done the meditation event, nurses 8 plus rank can use artifacts. There's 3 now. They can teleport all the players during meditation session to a new realm. Filming this video, like I said, there's only 3. Who knows, it could be more. If they did leave this Easter egg specifically, I don't think it was meant for the patients. I think it was really meant for the nurses. But the reason why I'm still talking about it is because this specifically, the Northern Church. If anybody knows what that means or what they're referencing, clearly it's not within the sanatorium, or is it? Because technically there's a chapel and then there's a lecture hall. If you don't know where the morgue is actually located, it's located across the actual hospital area that the sanatorium actually has in the main hallway. You can't miss it. It literally has a sign that says morgue on top of the door. But I do like that this is kind of a nod to nurses, amongst nurses, being like, we know that the killings are happening and this is the proper way to dispose of it. Just don't screw it up. But I like to think that this is their way of being like, we know what's actually happening, and kind of breaking their in-game character a bit. The last note that I wanted to talk about is this one. This is found in one of the rooms that are further in the back you have to go through. I'm pretty sure there's just more office space, but also this is really fine print, so if you want to take a screenshot and read it on your own time you can, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just summarize what it's saying. This is basically written from Nurse Magda to Nurse Lori, basically talking about how the morgue will soon eventually be restored to its pristine and original state, and referencing how eventually nurses can become a mortuary like assistant or aide. That was a thing in the past. That rank is no longer given to nurses, or who knows if people still have it, honestly, but I do know for a fact that used to be a rank that existed. This is their way of letting nurses know, hey, there's a new update coming. We'll expand the sanatorium even more for like the dead body parts, which I think is pretty cool. I wonder what they're gonna do as well as for patients, because I feel like every update has to implement nurses and patients one way or another. But if anybody does know any information on the Northern Church, or if that's something that's actually in the sanatorium, or I'm just confusing it with honestly something completely like just not even important. But if anybody knows anything about the Northern Church or have heard about the mortuary update that's coming, that would be super cool. I wonder if it'll bring a new dead coming back to life out of the morgue area, a new possible monster. I don't know. I want to give a huge shout out to Gavinci one more time, coming in clutch again with telling me about the morgue notes. I didn't know for a long time. I knew that the morgue was there, but I did not know anything about these notes. But if you're new here, my name is Lucky. Consider subscribing, it really helps it a lot. And until next time, I wish you luck in the next one. Bye.